Hey guys, I'm going to use the Semogue Torga C5 Premium Bristle Boar Brush again today. Used it yesterday, but I am so close to having this brush be up to par with the other boars I have going on in my rotation. And so I'm just so anxious. I'm going to repeat using him. I'm going to stick him in some water. It is important to wet your boar brushes before use. I recommend at least 3 minutes. If it's within the first 5 uses or so and you want to do a little bit of a accelerated break-in, I recommend maybe 1 to 3 hours of soaking. Only soak the bristles and don't use hot water. Don't soak the handle, especially don't even, I would actually stay within a quarter of an inch away from the handle if it's one of those wooden handled brushes, if you're going to soak it for a decent time. And don't use hot water either. Don't want to damage that glue knot. The expansion and contraction of the heat temperature changes there can damage that glue. I am going to continue using the Wizamet Super Iridium because I have in June, I acquired this open comb version of the Wolfman Guerrilla. Really like the Guerrilla, and so I've been chomping at the bit to use the open comb version. I think the Wizamet's going to do really well in it. It's a mild razor. This is Nautilus from Henri and Victoria, and this is their vegan soap base. They had a huge sale maybe the winter of 2018, and I couldn't resist picking up several tubs of this. I used Falls Lumberjack in the Lather games, I believe. Wonderful experience. Nice lather. It's not ultra top notch, but it's really good. And I think I have introduced all the things. 15 uses it looks like on the Wizamet, so it's not a young pup anymore. Some people definitely would have thrown him away by now. I do have a few of these, and I don't know if they're the same as the Pole Silvers. This is the same labeling that the Pole Silvers have, and I think we may have actually finally gotten to the end of the Pole Silvers in terms of all the distributors and manufacturers. It's been a hoax for quite a while, but I think it might actually be true. Who knows? I don't know if the Wizamet is the same or not, but they both do well for me, and that's really kind of all that matters, isn't it? The good news is we've got lots of other blades: the Gillette Silver Blue, Astra Superior Platinum, Gillette Platinum, all do really well for me in many razors. All right, now with this razor head here, it definitely locks that blade in, gives it plenty of support from the bottom as well. And we have the open comb there. Looking forward to that. Now that I've dealt with that little paper packaging, I'm going to get my face wet. And if you didn't draw that connection there, to get my face wet, I have to get my hands wet. My hands are wet. They don't deal with that paper packaging very well. All right. We are using a 3D printed bowl. Plans for that are available as a link in the description of the video. Let's start off with a 30-second load. This is a scrubby brush, so 20 seconds may be all I need, but that's all right. If we have extra soap, we have extra soap. I'm going to usually start off by shaking most of the water out. As usual, if you want to leave some water in, that might shortcut you to a quicker lather. And 20 rolls around right there, so we'll be able to go all the way to 50. They do have a new base, maybe a year old, something like that. That is terrific, and it's a tallow base, and it's triple milled. It's tremendous, really nice. This one's no slouch either. I do like the other one better, but I do have these scents here that need to be enjoyed. The Nautilus is and that's 30 seconds. Now, maybe I came at it with a little bit more water than usual, but it's really, really quite wet. So I'm interested to see if I have to come back to this to get some more soap, because the brush does not looks like it has very much soap. Sometimes looks can be deceiving. The Nautilus scent is one that is inspired and themed by the ocean. Get out my description here. It's got some notes of cedarwood, amber, moss, lavender, musk, spice, bamboo, and crisp water. It's got ocean and sea air kind of as the theme there. So we'll see how many of those scents I can pick up during the shave. Now look, that didn't really look like it had too much, but sure enough, here it comes. Now, I was talking to somebody online recently about the smell of water as it's used in shaving soaps. And I've learned that that's just something that people, the makers, will put together on their own. They'll try to just approximate what translates to you and to them as a clean, fresh water type scent. Now there's some type of scent that's used that people are calling ozone, and so that, I think sometimes that kind of thing is used for water. And to create a salty air kind of note, sea air, it'll be interesting to see how this soap works out. Yeah, it's kind of a woodiness to it, but there is kind of a salty type note. It does remind me a little bit of the ocean. Stormy seas, stormy ocean times is also in the description as well. There are different kind of oceans, aren't there? Different kind of ocean environments. I'm used to the Carolina beaches, like Myrtle Beach and Wilmington and places like that I've been to in my life. But if you're maybe used to Atlantic, the Jersey Shore kind of area, Atlantic City, if you're used to the Massachusetts and Cape Cod and that kind of environment, if you're used to the ocean from the West Coast, you're may really be talking about quite a different set of scents for each one of those scenarios. So we've got 2 teaspoons in the lather. Here, now let me pause you and tilt you down so you can see the lather a little better. I had the video up a little bit more than usual because I just did a post where I was asking you guys for input about the austere August and what soap you guys might think about me using. I was just kind of calling out for ideas. Strongly considering making it a face lathering month so that my skills in face lathering can improve. Last year I did Midnight Stag. I did the aftershave and the soap, and my family was starting to get a little put out by my smell. That is definitely a manly, abrasive, divisive smell that a lot of non-shavers don't really enjoy. Shoot, even some shavers don't enjoy it. I really like it. All right, now with this base, oh, that's so slick. That is nice. It's a creamy contact slickness there. That's really good. I am on the right track with the adding of water. There are some soaps that I might actually want to stop at this point. That looks a little too dry, but some soaps need me to stop at this point. This is not one of them, so 4 teaspoons now. The Austere August is a little contest, and I mentioned this in my other video, so I won't take the time to spell it out too much now, but if you're a regular watcher of me, then you would have worked through it with me last year, so you know all about it. But on the Reddit wet shaving forum, that's where it's kind of held, and you know, that's where all the info is and all that. You just pick something and use it all month. If you want to go for Mr. Too Nice Guys Ultra Nightmare mode, then you even use the same blade for the entire month. Not the same model blade, but the exact same blade all month. And that, of course, means the same razor, aftershave, sometimes the same fragrance, as well as aftershave and soap. And so some different modes that you can do. It's much more, it's not as formal as the lather games. That's because it is a competition of just kind of on your honor. And it is also, it's got more side contests. So, all right, let's just go with this. It still kind of seems a little bit on the dry side, but see, that is much drier than I usually have my lathers. Okay, let's put in another teaspoon, so this will be 5. Oh yeah, I'm starting to pick up kind of a clean, crisp smell that kind of lends itself to a watery kind of note. I'm glad the amber is backed off. It's a supporting character. I think I smell a hint of lavender. It's not a strong accord here, but this has sat around in my office for 1.5 years. It was just so cheap, I couldn't help but buy a bunch of these. They had just, I guess they just came out with a new base, and so maybe they were trying to remove some of their inventory. And water on my face. About 24 hours of growth is what we're going to be shaving off today. Cognac and Cuban cigars is a popular scent from this maker, Henri and Victoria. I believe they're Canadian. I want to give it a few minutes to let the lather kind of soak into your skin, soften your whiskers, instead of just getting to the point where you can shave and doing it right away. It's nicer if you have the time to wait. Now we'll just kind of lay down the layer there. All right. Looking forward to this razor. Some people call it the UAG, the Ugly Arse Guerrilla. And I can see why people would say that. It's not as graceful as some, but I really like it. So let's see how the open comb version does. I used it during the lather games, I believe, but it was with the Nasset, so it's not really a fair comparison. This is going great. Now the normal solid bar version is a mild razor, and I think that's why it didn't do very well. I think a lot of Wolfman fans like their razors to be a little on the aggressive side, and this is not that. But since I'm such a mild razor fan, somebody advised me to try the Guerrilla, and so I bought the solid bar one, and I'm so glad that I did. Because I almost sold it, actually. I had it on the Shave Bazaar, and then I heard that they were going to quit making them, and so I immediately took it off the Shave Bazaar. I'm glad I did. And then recently the open comb version became available, and I had started to look for it. All right, rinse and second pass. Did not do any pre-shave, like a shower or a face wash or anything prior to this one, and so that first pass is kind of my face wash. Doesn't take much to get going on the second pass now. Very comfortable shave. So we'll just make sure that it's comfortable and close at the end. This head holds the blade just so firmly. I love it. Nice consistency and smoothness. The handle here is stainless steel, but it does not get slippery because it is a brushed stainless steel. And so the brushed means that there are tiny maybe microscopic lines or grooves or whatever that you don't really see with the naked eye, but they cause it to be excellent in terms of grip. Looks like it would slide around, but even if it's soapy, it stays really nicely in your hand. And I think that applies to pretty much any brushed stainless steel, not just a Wolfman. So if you see other handles that you think you might like, but they look smooth, if they're brushed, they'll probably be just fine for you. Now this is more of a performance lather. It is not giving me quite the luxury feel between passes. Feels great right now, you know, on the face, but it is kind of on the, maybe on the wet side of perfect. It's in a nice zone. It's enjoyable. But it's not, if you're going for a luxurious creamy, then this is a little bit off of that. So maybe I should have kept it at 4 teaspoons of water for the 30-second load. And sure enough, I didn't need to load 30 seconds. 20 is probably a good place to start next time. The Wizamet seems to be doing really well, very comfortable, feels in good control. The razor does feel like it's giving me a little bit more blade feel than the solid bar version, so I'm happy about that. Still very comfortable though. Sometimes with mild razors, you have to work a little bit longer to find the right angle. But then once you do, you are well rewarded with comfort and closeness for your shaves. And final rinse. Okay, upon inspection, there's actually quite a bit of length left in some of this area. Let me hit that again with a bit of a touch-up. With 16 uses now, the Wizamet may, probably not though, most other blades are fine at this point, but it could be time not to have it in a really mild razor. Light touch as usual. If you're having a problem getting those hairs cut, don't bear down with more pressure. Feeling a little bit of tenderness right there over on this end, so I better not over shave that area. You can also, instead of hitting the brush again, just grab some from the bowl with your hands. So I am feeling some tenderness right there. So this may not be a great blade for this razor. It's not quite a match, you know. There's nothing wrong with that, just the way it turns out sometimes. Do that rinse again. And yeah, that touch-up helped me out. It's a much better shave. Still several hairs in that area that you know, show just a little bit of length on them, but that general idea of the shadow is gone. And so most jobs are going to be fine with the level of shave I got here. It's a nice scent, but it's very light. I'd say 3 out of 10 in terms of strength. I got it a little bit when I was using it. Definitely get it when I stick my nose in the bowl, but this is definitely one suited for folks who like very mild scents, at least when you have it in the strength that I like it. If you're a heavy loader, face latherer, where you've got a lot of concentrate going on around your face, then maybe you're going to get a better mouth, a better nose full of this particular soap. So 5 teaspoons of water with 30-second load. I would definitely back off in both amounts. For a 30-second load, I'd probably do 4 teaspoons of water, and then I'd back that down to 20 seconds, which probably equates to a third of, or rather 2/3 of 4. You know, what's a little bit less than 3, like maybe 2 3/4, roughly, teaspoons of water. Might be the right ratio. Oh, let's do our Sharp Dressed Man post-shave balm here. This container is getting lighter, so I am doing a good job of putting some uses on this one. I really enjoyed the scent. This is an older tub and older tube of balm, and so I want to use it before it goes bad. Very good. Thank you, Stirling. And I'm glad that I have the balm for this kind of tender area right there. Hitting that so many times did make me feel like I wanted something more nourishing there after the shave. So this little guy is spreading out, as you can see. If you were to go back, I believe, and look at my videos where I was just starting to use him, the angle here, you know, would have been much more narrow, you know, something more like that. But afterwards now I'm able to spread it out like that and have it stay. And we're not getting a whole lot of split tips yet. So you know what that means? What's coming in the future is more softness and comfort. So Semogues, they do take a while to get those split tips to a length of about 1/2 inch or more. It does take quite a while, it looks like, from input I've had from other people. However, that doesn't mean that is when they start to feel comfortable. This one started to feel comfy within just a few uses. And I did do like a 1 hour pre-soak before each shave, before each use, for the first, 10 to 15 shaves, 8 to 15, something like that. I can't remember exactly. Would probably enjoy having this scent if it were stronger and using it. If I was stuck somewhere and this was the only scent I have, it is light, but it's very nice, and so I would enjoy my shaves. Wouldn't have a problem with that at all. So Henri and Victoria, they make good stuff, and that's a good scent. It's I don't feel like it's a copy, a duplicate of anything else out there, which is nice. A little bit woody. Maybe I picked up a little bit of the lavender, maybe a tiny bit of musk, and the something like an aqua note. I believe those are the things that jumped out at me. So nice. Can definitely enjoy that over the long haul. See if it were stronger. So it's got 16 uses now, and the Wizamet has definitely looked better in other razors. So it just wasn't quite made for this one. Now, if it was within maybe the first 3 shaves, it might have had an edginess enough to make it work really well. This is what I do at the end of each shave. Dry off my bowls. It's kind of neat to wind down from the shave. As I'm doing this, I'm also just smelling the scents that are around me, so that's enjoyable too. The Treat Platinum is the next voted blade in the list that I presented to you guys, and I believe I'll probably use that on the next shave. I do have it on hand, and so that's fun. That has been a really good blade in a few of my razors. I'm looking forward to being reminded about how I like that one. All right, well, that's today's shave. As I've been shutting everything down, the Balm from Stirling, the Sharp Dressed Man. It's a clone or inspired by Creed Green Irish Tweed, a popular scent decades ago, and I really enjoy it. Kind of a classic. It's been fun working and cleaning up, and that is definitely present right now and enjoyable to me. So very nice. So we'll keep putting some uses on this brush. The Nautilus base was pretty good. I probably added a little bit too much water to it. It does look like one that I need to run a little drier than how I usually go. It's fun to use the Wolfman, the Guerrilla open comb. Again, not a great match with the Wizamet, but I'm looking forward to putting more blades through it and seeing what I find. The 68 solid bar base plate from Razor Rock. That was the game changer. It's similar in that there were a good many blades that didn't really work well with it. It was too mild for the most part for me, and so I sold it. Well, the Wolfman discontinued. It's hard to get. So if I find some blades that work well with it, which I already have, I'm probably not going to treat it with the same way and sell it, because it's just a little bit more special. So we'll keep that guy around, and I'll just have a list of blades that I know that work well with it, that I enjoy, and it'll just have that, and eventually I'll pass it on to my son. All right, I think we're good. Nautilus, enjoyed it. Just wish it was a little stronger. If you like mild scents, then this might be a great option for you. It is really an interesting scent. I like the way they put it together. All right, guys, you take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and I sure hope that you've gotten something from this video. Take care and good night.